What's up, boys? Welcome to the new video. Today we need to do a trade recap of today's trade. Okay, so today we had basically 3 setups, only 2 entries, which is the max for today. So let's get straight into it. First, we had, I believe the first one happening was oil. Yes, oil was the first one happening. And let's get through it. Okay, so oil was bullish because of this break here to the upside. So on the 5-minute time frame, I would look for a buy. Price sweeps Asia low here. Does not give the fake out, but on the 15-minute time frame, it creates a break structure right here. So at that point, we don't need the fake out zone anymore. All we need is a retrace into the entry, which we get right here. The entry is basically this 0.5957 level on the fib tool, which goes from the low of the session to the high that broke the structure. And price retraces here on these first 2 taps. It does not give me a fill on Think Capital, so it gives me the fill right here on this candle, and I get in the trade and ADP comes right there. So at 1 we close the trade, closed for about 0.5 hour. And then the next trade was EU. EU was bearish because of this break here to the downside, boom. And on the 5-minute time frame, we were waiting for Asia high to be swept for a sell, and it did that right here. And then it also, we had a first bearish candle, which means we can now put the fake out zone, but the fake out zone was also never reached, so we were going to use the 15-minute time frame, boom. And there was a break right there on the 15 minutes. So we are again putting the fib tool from the half the session to the low that broke structure, and just kept extending the fib range until we actually came back up into the entry. But it came up into the entry after 12:30. So 12:30 is here, as you can see, which is the latest time we can get filled on in any trade in London session. So from here we cancel the trade on 12:30, and we would have gotten filled if we didn't do that, but we don't do that. Okay, so we follow the plan. So no trade at that point. So in this case, we would wait for the New York crossover, but it didn't really happen. So it, like, price should extend either this candle, this range, or the 15-minute candle, which is this one, extend this low, which it did not do. So no trade on EU today. And then the last one was NQ. On NQ, we were bullish because of this break. So this break to the upside, right? This right here, it's a new break. Okay, this didn't happen while we were looking at the trade. So this was the last break we would go off. And on the 5-minute time frame, we were looking for Asia low to be swept, which happened here. First bullish candle. Here we got a fake out and then a break structure. And then from the low of the session to the high, obviously the high first was here once the break happened, but then as price went up, we extended and followed all the way to up here until price retraced back into the entry. Now here it actually filled us into the trade. Obviously with NQ it's not 12:30 because NQ NY open is 14:30, and the roll is just half an hour before the new session. So it will be 14 for the latest time fill. In this case, we got filled right here. Price was just consolidating basically around the entry, and we had at 1:15 ADP, which is a banned TMB news event, so we had to close out of this trade as well, and we closed at 1 p.m. so around break even it was for me on average across all of my accounts. And that's where we ended the day, boys. Okay, that's where we ended the day. 3 trades, 3 setups, 2 trades, ending on about 0.5 hour in profit, which is not bad. It's only the start of the week. Last 2 days were no trades. I had no trades, so this is a new the first trade of the week, basically first 2 trades of the week. So we'll see how the rest of the week goes. Anyway, thank you, boys, for watching this trade recap, and I hope I see you in the next one. Peace out, boys.